Thank you, President Donna. I hope all of you had a chance to visit our vendors in the back and sample some of what the public market is going to offer to the city of Madison. I live only about 6 blocks away from the site, and I'm super excited to see it come to fruition. Today, we are going to hear from Trey Sprinkman, who serves on the Public Market Advisory Council. He serves in that role because creating a public market is important for Madison to continue to be a premier destination place to live and visit. We'll also hear from Amanda White, who is leading the community engagement for the public market. And both Troy and Amanda are also members of our Rotary Club. We look forward to your presentation, Trey and Amanda. We've made a contribution to the Rotary International Polio Plus Fund as a way of saying thank you for your speaking with us today. Please let's give a warm welcome to Trey and Amanda as they come to the podium. Thank you.
I hit the magic number where I needed my readers, so. First off, I'd like to thank Becky. I'd like to thank President Donna. I'd like to thank all my fellow Rotarians, and a special thanks to our market vendors who came here today. A warm welcome and applause from the Rotary. Thank you. Well, most of you know me because I'm in the real estate business, and you might wonder why I'm up here as a fellow Rotarian talking about the Madison public market. Quick intro, just a brief comment. I met Amanda White last year during community shares at Sardine Restaurant, one of my favorite restaurants. And I asked her how the market was going, and she said, well, we have finally decided on a location. We're ramping up, love to get people involved. And I said, I'd love to be involved in the Madison public market. How can I help? And she said, well, we're putting together an advisory council. And I raised my hand, and it's been just over a year. So I want to thank Amanda for making that introduction. In the last year, I've hosted a private mini taste in my home with my neighbors and friends. I'm gonna call it Joe McNeil, who just walked in. He's also a neighbor, and we actually hosted a neighborhood community taste with Tenny Lapham, Maple Bluff, and some east side, northeast side neighbors. And I actually got to meet many of the vendors here today and a few extras. And so it's been a busy year, friend raising with Amanda and making introductions. And one of my passions is helping entrepreneurs. And I think we can see from the taste that we had today and the products that are on display that this will be a special opportunity for our city. And it's something that we've been missing. Some other markets have been here for well over 100 years in our country. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that. I'd like to thank the city for being here today, the foundation, and many Rotarians who are on the advisory council and foundation. Thank you for choosing me to be a representative. I'd like to ask how many of you have visited a public market in the United States or abroad in your lifetime? If you can just show it. Wow. Okay. Long overdue. So here we go. We can find public markets in Detroit, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Seattle, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, some of the best cities in the United States and abroad. I actually happen to be able to go to a place called Time Out Market in Lisboa, in Portugal, with my family. So I have been to a public market overseas. It was very, very special. The best U.S. cities of all sizes often have one thing in common. They have created a vibrant public market to celebrate the local culture and support entrepreneurship. Public markets have strong impact on local economies while attracting tourists and locals alike. Given Madison's incredible food, culture, and rich farming history, we've gone too long without the economic, cultural, and tourism benefits of a public market. Get some slides. Just going to share with you some of the public markets. Some I have not been to, some I have. I have not been to the West Side Market in Cleveland, Ohio, but I just want to show you what public markets look like. And pretty much everyone raised their hand. So it appears that you've been there, you've seen it. Everything from butchers, bakers, produce suppliers. Here's one in Reading Terminal Market in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Look at the colors, how vibrant places that you can go and dine. Here's one in Chelsea. I have been to Chelsea. Very cool public market, raw ingredients and spices. Pike's Place. Who's been to Pike's Place? Famous. I love watching them throw the fish. Newbo, kind of a similar situation. Newbo City Market in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That is, I bring this to your attention because that hall is called Rotary Hall. Midtown Global Market in Minneapolis, not too far away. Boston Public Market. Milwaukee Public Market. It's a great market. So these are just some photos of our markets locally throughout the United States. Public markets are usually one of the most popular destinations within a city. We are sure this will be true in Madison as well. Whether you're looking for a drink after work, live music or a special event, or just having fun in the afternoon with your family. The Madison Public Market will offer all of these experiences, plus a variety of unique, delicious food that you won't find anywhere else in Madison. One question we get asked often is, how is a public market different than a farmer's market? Public markets are open year-round, 6 to 7 days a week. Well, they do have some produce. They also have prepared food, canned and jarred goods, and seating areas. In Madison, we're so fortunate to have plenty of amazing farmers markets. The public market will be an opportunity for seasonal vendors to grow their business into year-round enterprises. And for Madisonians to have a market experience year-round in the winter, it may be an ideal place for an indoor farmers market. But the goal of the market is to support local farmers and the farmers markets around our community. That is the Detroit Public Market. The public market is coming in 2020. So after a decade of planning and feedback from literally thousands of Madisonians, the Madison Public Market will open its doors in 2020. You can see there will be 30 to 40 market vendors. Like the previous photos, it'll be vibrant, colorful, and will be bustling. So where is our public market? The location is at 1st Street and East Washington Avenue. A consultant worked with the city and community leaders in assessing the ideal location, and we're confident we found it. It is close to downtown and the East Washington activity. We've all seen the activity: Shop Bop, Hotel Indigo, Spark, Sylvie, Festival Foods. East Washington is becoming the hottest place in Madison, Wisconsin. It's a high visibility corner. It will spur redevelopment in the surrounding area. Marley Lumber, for instance, great apartments on the river, beautiful. The back half of the lot is owned by the city and will be vacated in 2023, which will provide a great expansion potential for a production kitchen, wholesaling, and food storage. The mall will be torn down. A private developer will add 90 units of apartments and potentially a hotel on the site. The public market will be a strong anchor of this public and private partnership. The market itself will be about 30,000 square feet with lots of light, natural building materials, and a simple yet attractive design. This is where it gets exciting. 30 to 40 market vendors we talked about, over 100 employees, $16 to $20 million in annual revenue. We know there's going to be over 500,000 visitors attending the Madison Public Market, maybe more, based on visitor rates from other destinations like Old Brick Gardens, the Overture, and the Zoo, and the Milwaukee Public Market. It will be a celebration of food, entrepreneurship, and community. It will showcase the best of local food and homemade goods, which we got to sample today. Support entrepreneurship among populations that traditionally face barriers to business startup. Better meet the demand for local food And the important thing is we will build a fiscally responsible market that can fund itself after the first 36 months. We have taken best practices from some of our country's most successful public markets to create a strong vision for our project. Where entrepreneurial spirit and local food meet. In addition to showcasing the best of Madison's food and homemade goods, the public market will be an important driver for local entrepreneurship. Several community groups, including the Latino Chamber, the Hmong Chamber, Feed Kitchen, and WIBIC, saw an important opportunity for the public market to be an inclusive, diverse space that promotes multicultural entrepreneurship. In partnership with the City of Madison, these organizations created the Market Ready program. There's approximately 30 Market Ready participants. Here's some statistics. 83% of people of color will operate in our Madison public market. 60% will be women-owned businesses. And 33% will be first-generation immigrants. This group, what I'd like to do is I'd like to point out Judy Cooper, who you see up here. I'm just going to read her quote. Madison needs this public market. It's an important opportunity for our children of color to have a place where they can go and see many other people of color owning businesses and finding success in our city. The public market is a place we will all be proud of. Judy Cooper. Here are some of the other businesses and women owners. These are just a few of our incredible Market Ready folks, and some are here today. Josie Chu of Madam Chu creates her Singaporean sauces from her grandmother's recipes. She's currently selling in Willie Street Co-op, but wants to grow her business in a retail space. Maipa is up in the top left corner, is a new entrepreneur who is planning a Hmong stand in the market. She wants to hire women from her community to teach them the business and help them establish job skills. Mentoring Positives is here today, in the back, off the block salsa, love it. They're currently sold in Willie Street Co-op, Metcalf's. They employ high school students in all aspects of business out of the Darbo-Worthington neighborhood. They want to expand their social enterprise by having a pizza stand. Good luck. Here are some established brands. So there's a nice little hybrid of business owners in the Madison public market. Well-established brands that have been in our community for decades. Chocolate Shop, Stella's Bakery, Just Coffee, Sassy Cow Creamery. The smaller Market Ready vendors will be in 10 by 10 Market Ready vendor booths. The public market will offer a variety of Madison's favorites, some I've mentioned, but over 180 other local businesses have submitted formal interest in having a space in the market. Larger businesses will have larger spaces, cafes, restaurant kitchens, larger vendor booths. These businesses will provide financial stability to the Market Ready to offset the riskier startup Market Ready businesses. This support of new and long-established entrepreneurs will provide an array of unique and interesting products, from flowers to handmade goods to bakeries to full prepared meals. Our market hall. Again, let's just highlight 30 to 40 vendors. We'll have a Wisconsin cheese experience. You can't go anywhere in Wisconsin without a cheese experience. There'll be family areas. There'll be local artwork, event spaces, outdoor plazas, and seating, and storytelling. We'll have weddings. Businesses will have meetings, temporary events such as weekend craft fairs, winter farmers markets, and food festivals. This event space will provide the market with additional revenue, engage more local businesses who don't have permanent space in the market. There will be something new to experience every time you visit. There will be a food innovation center. Consumers in Madison want more local food options at their favorite restaurants, school cafeterias, but our current local food system can't produce the volume needed to meet that demand. The Food Innovation Center will provide food production space, cooking and nutritional classes, and other back-of-house systems needed to support strong growth in a local food economy. No matter how often you visit the market, the Food Innovation Center will help bring more local food to your neighborhood restaurants, schools, and other larger institutions. We talked a little bit about local impact. $22 million regional economic impact, 35 local new businesses created or existing business accelerated, 100 jobs, $200 million in redevelopment, $35 million in private investment. When you purchase something at the public market, you aren't just helping the market. Your dollars support their local family businesses within the market, their employees, and all the local Madisonians at the farms and businesses who are working to bring that product to the market. Your dollars stay in our local economy. Additionally, the public market will spur more redevelopment with East Washington and Fordham Avenue corridor. I do have to throw this little plug in for all those who don't think it's the right spot. I got a call 3 days ago from Sun Valley, Idaho. It was somebody who's selling their house, moving to Madison to start a business. And the first thing they said is, I want to find a house near the Madison public market. I said, is this a joke? How did you find out about the Madison public market? And they said, we were Googling what's fun in Madison, what's new in Madison. And I said, you didn't read about it? You didn't get tipped off about the Madison public market? I said, nope, but I can tell you, we want to live by it. And so I said, fine, I can help you do that. The Madison Public Market has grown to be a truly community-led project with a wide variety of community leaders involved, many of them here today. The Madison Public Market Advisory Council is helping lead the development of the project. We are so fortunate to have these incredible community leaders meeting several times per year to give strong community direction to the project. We have several Rotarians who are members of the Advisory Council and Foundation, and obviously they stood up today and you saw some of them. And now I'd like to invite Amanda White, also a Rotary member and part of the Madison Public Market Foundation, who will tell you more about how we're going to make our Madison Public Market a reality. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I hope you all enjoyed the vendors here. They're awesome. They're amazing. I'm happy to be here. I'm a newer Rotarian, so it's really exciting for me to be up here and talk about one of the projects that I have the privilege of working on with the Madison Public Market Foundation. Several of the foundation members are here today, right up front here. I'm going to move it. This is our advisory council. So I just wanted to take a couple real quick minutes here at the end to tell you a little bit about logistics and how we're moving forward and the people involved. Before I do that, I want to give a huge thanks to Trey. He really has been a leader at the beginning here as we formed the advisory council and formed the foundation. He's been incredible, as have all the people on the advisory committee. As you can see, there's several Rotarians we're fortunate to have working with us to make this truly a community-led project in partnership with the city. I don't know. Okay, so the Madison Public Market Foundation was formed just last year with the sole purpose of managing the operations of the market once the doors open in 2020 and helping the city develop it as we move along over the next year and a half. This is the start founding members of the foundation. Most of them are here at this table. And over the next coming months, they're going to be growing the foundation, the board, forming committees, and really moving forward in several aspects of making our public market a reality. The city has been just a huge force leading the development of this project over the last 10 years. Mayor Paul Soglin is still a leading force. He's very much committed to the public market because he sees it as such a huge opportunity for entrepreneurial growth and entrepreneurial growth among diverse communities. And then there's several other important leaders within the city. Dan Kennelly is here today from the city, and he's the project manager. And I got to tell you, he's amazing. I don't know how he manages all the different things that are coming at him with this project, but we're lucky to have a really strong team between the foundation and the city moving this project forward. The next step, so great, we've got this great vision. We're moving forward on the project. When is it going to happen? So final design work, the architectural plan, the site plan, all of that's going to be confirmed over the next couple months. In 2019, we'll break ground. The foundation and part of my work is raising the capital funds for the project. So we'll be doing that over the next year and a half. An important part of making the market successful is doing a nationwide search for that executive director who's going to run the public market. So that will happen, and the person will be hired in 2019. Many of the merchants that you see here today are market ready, and other folks who are planning a business for launch in the market. As you could see, we have 180 businesses, existing and new, interested in being in the market. So we will have the best of the best. That vendor selection will be happening in 2019, and the doors will be opening in 2020. So we're really close to making that happen. This is a $15 million project. The city, at the end of last year, made a strong commitment to the project by approving a $7.5 million in the capital budget, plus an additional $1 million before that has been confirmed for the development stages. We're looking at $2.5 million in new market tax credits. We already have soft commitments and a very good consultant who's working with us on that. And then a $4 million capital campaign, which we just launched a few months back. And I'm happy to say we already have $780,000 in lead gifts confirmed, and we'll be doing a lot of fundraising over the next year. So if anybody happens to be interested in that part of the project, you definitely let us know. We want to do more of these opportunities to literally have a taste of the public market, to be able to visualize what this amazing space in Madison will be. So our next taste of the Madison Public Market will be in just a couple weeks on Saturday, April 21st. It's a free event. Many of the vendors that were here today will be at that event as well, plus another 10 or so vendors. There's gonna be about 20 vendors. The Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board is a huge supporter of our public market, and they're hosting a cheese tasting with award-winning Wisconsin cheese, chocolate, they said mangoes. I don't know what's happening, but it's going to be pretty exciting. And then the Madison Public Library is hosting several children's activities. So bring the family out. It's from 10 to 2 on Saturday, April 21st. And I just want to finish by reiterating a couple of Trey's remarks that this truly is our city's next big project, and it's something that I think our community has needed for a lot of years. So we're so happy to be here today to talk to all of you. I encourage anyone who's interested. We're looking for people to be on the foundation board, to be on committees. We're looking for people to join the advisory council, which only meets once a quarter, because we want as many people from the community involved in helping us lead this project and make it happen. So we'd love to engage many of you as well. Thank you so much. So do you want to go grab them? And the numbers are on. I don't know if you saw our table in the back, but we have a little goodie basket of all local items. We got some off the block salsa, some Madame Chew sauce, lots of good stuff in the goodie basket, and we're going to raffle it off. So somebody here is going to be able to take it home just as our thank you for having us here today. Trey's going to pull the magic name. Oh, I could do it. Okay. We did not put our names in here, by the way. Oh, Nelson Cummings. Woo. You're our big winner. Nelson. All right. We'll bring it over to you. We'll bring it over to you. Thanks, Trey. And now Trey and I and the foundation folks are here if anybody has questions. Donna, do we have a couple quick minutes for questions? Okay. Anybody have questions? Sure, right here.
I was wondering, why is the city getting involved in such a great idea that the public, or why is the city getting involved with something that's such a great idea that maybe the private sector should be doing this? I know that Foxconn is a public project, but it's awfully risky. And this is probably even more risky because are we ever going to get our money back from this?
Yeah.
As taxpayers?
Trey says it's all me. I don't know if anybody here from the foundation wants to. I'll take a stab at it. So when you look across the country at all the public markets across the country, they are not run by private businesses. the city actually just had an RFQ process where they invited anyone who was interested in running the public market to apply. And there's really no businesses that do this across the country. Most of them are either run by a government, the city unit, or a nonprofit organization. And I think part of that is because public markets can pay for themselves. So this is not something that's going to be years and years of public subsidy. We're looking at a very small amount of public subsidy for the first 3 years, right, Dan? That's in the business plan. And then the public it's a good revenue model. We've looked at other public markets across the country to look at their revenue models. We have a good financial plan for it. And the other thing is the idea of redevelopment, of reaching out to surrounding communities for nutrition classes, and then the idea of really including diverse entrepreneurs. These are things that you can do successfully financially and are just as important as the bottom line. So I think it's important that a community organization runs those markets, and it's what we see that has been successful across the country. It's a really good question.
Contrary to that, I'm very excited about you doing this because there are all of these entrepreneurs all over, and to bring them together is really exciting. I want to know how you're going to get the public there. Parking, I hope that there's some addressing the mass transit in that area.
Mm-hmm. Dan, do you want to take that from the city? Do you want me to put you on the spot? Sure. Yes, come up.
Thanks. Wow, this is a bigger audience than I thought sitting right there. Suddenly I'm nervous. I'm Dan Kennelly from the city. It's a great question about accessibility to the market. First, the market will have sufficient parking. We are planning for about 120 parking stalls, which should be enough to serve this 30,000 square foot facility. In addition, one of the advantages of the site is it is on a major transit spine through the city. There are over 200 buses a day that go down East Washington Avenue, and then more on Johnson Street and First Street. It is also a site that's potentially planned for a stop on the city's bus rapid transit system. And it's also extremely well served by the city's bicycle infrastructure. The Yahara River Path goes right by, going across the isthmus, and then the Mifflin Bike Boulevard takes you right downtown. So we also have been working with B-Cycle to integrate a B-Cycle station into the site. So we're really hoping it's accessible to everybody in the community, coming by car as well as by transit or by bike.
Hi, I just want to thank you all for your work on this. I think it's really very, very exciting. When I lived in Washington, I was walking distance from the Capitol Market, and that is what you did on Saturdays, and thousands of people came. With this concept being based a lot on entrepreneurship and diversity, is that a part of all public markets, or is that a particular package of strategies that we in Madison have put together?
Can you start? Yeah, it's a great question. Historically, public markets have been a great platform for entrepreneurship. They're a place where a small entrepreneur can access a space to start a business or grow a business when they might not have the means to start a more traditional brick and mortar business. So that's something that public markets have done for generations. We have really focused on that as a core part of the mission of the project. The Market Ready program is very unique. I'm not aware of any other cities across the country who have done anything quite like this, where in advance of building the public market, we're funding a program to really develop and cultivate a diverse pool of vendors who will move into the market and be ready to succeed when the market's open. So, we're first and foremost, this is an economic development project with a strong emphasis on, lowering rungs of opportunity to entrepreneurs to help them start businesses.
Go ahead, Joanna.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're
Oh,
done.
no.
Thank you.
We're done. I'm sorry. They're going to be here after the meeting. So you guys can ask questions of them then. Just want to stay on time. We have been donated 2 tickets to Saturday's performance of the Madison Symphony Orchestra from a very generous Rotarian who I will remain nameless. If you're interested, we ask for a donation to the Rotary International Foundation. So the tickets will be at the button box table if you're interested. And we are adjourned.